welcome to the highlights of a day of aggression, even aggro if you like, where the two teams battled it out, slugging away at one another for much of the day, and in the end there wasn't a great deal in it at the close of play. Here's the second over of the day. John Embury is bowling to Ray Bright, and in the commentary box, Mike Smith and Jim Laker.
That's it, swept away, very fine, and racing away down there, nobody any chance of stopping it. So Bright owns his account, the first runs of the morning, 4 runs. There's no third man that'll race down in front of the pavilion. Really giving vain chase, but there it is, and it was quite a good shot actually, because he got across, got over the top of it, steered it away down in that direction. Oh, it's well bowled. A real corker there from Chris Holt, and the crowd, particularly those behind the bowler's arm, giving lots of applause for the Yorkshireman. So not only to straighten that up, but get a little bit of extra nip off the pitch. Forecast for the day is generally cloudy, with a possibility of some thundery rain later on. That's beaten Gower, gathering pace, it's fairly racing away. Gower, swiftest man in the side, and there's nothing he can do about it. Really, no great power in that shot, he simply stroked it into the offside. Old again. And that's racing away, 4 more. No third man. It's the second time he's pushed that away to that very big gap, and I think Embury now is on his way back to third man to stay there.
Confident shot for that. Did he hit it? Certainly the wicketkeeper bowler and the slips thought that that was a possibility.
And it's certainly very close if he didn't hit it. Round about leg stump.
It's a fine stroke beating Boycott, and probably on this very dry outfield will race away for 4. Boycott's after it, but won't make it. Bringing the 50 up. And Ray Bright's 4th 4 of the morning. Good striking rate at just over 2.2 per over. Bob Willis goes over the wicket to the right-handed Bright. Oh, that was a beautiful delivery. The best of the morning. This was just outside the off stump. It runs away from the bat. That was a beautiful bit of bowling. That got Bright committed to the stroke, but in fact it did a bit too much. It wasn't quite good enough to edge that. Oh, it was a huge shout, and that's it. LBW. Ian Botham strikes ring on the first wicket of the morning. Ray Bright is out for 27, LBW Botham, and the 3rd Australian wicket is down at 62. And he's off the mark. Peter Willey. Tootie Hughes, and remember the England total 189, Australia 64 for 3. He tried the bouncer and paid the penalty. That's 4.
Cut right in the middle of the bat, Graham Wood. For one instant, it looked as though the bounce of the ball might have defeated him. It didn't get up at all.
Yes, Ian Botham banged this one in, and it really didn't get very high at all. Just about stump high. A magnificent shot.
Shot for 4. The outfield's quick, no need to run. Beautifully placed, that. A very good piece of cricket, that, from Hughes. A slower ball from Embury, which might easily have produced the defensive stroke. In fact, he made good ground to it. Up for Australia. With a miscue by Hughes. Oh, well bowled. That's a beautiful piece of bowling. The quicker one that swings in the air, the arm ball, and it started round about leg stump.
That really was a superb piece of bowling, and it must have been extremely close.
Way down at third man is Crishold. 50 partnership applauded there by this good crowd present at EDGBASTON. Then Crishold is there, and that's a good throw. Misfield by David Gower, an awkward bounce there. Nothing wrong with the infield there, it was just the bounce that defeated him and gave Hughes 4 runs. No ball called, so that lets Yallop off the mark.
It's a problem that Bob Willis has had throughout his career, but it certainly does help Graham Yallop in these circumstances to relieve the pressure.
Very close, but he's probably just outside off stump, and he was playing a stroke. Around the wicket.
Was it high, or was it doing a little bit too much?
I don't think those slow hand taps will do very much good. No ball called again, so it's 1 more for the total. So short of both them and 4 runs. Now, that was also very short. Now, Harold Bird is having a word, just suggesting, got to take it by the actions here, cool it. I think it's probably the operative phrase. Hughes got the outside edge there, way past Botham at second slip, and a little bit of applause came. I suspect it might have been the Australian captain applauding Willis. 140 for 4, 37 to Kim Hughes now, and Yallop has strike to Embury. Yallop's on 3. Shot for 4. Not one that will have pleased John Embury's captain very much. It's good as to yellow. Graham Yallop will realise after see a bit more out there in the centre that this is a very placid pitch, and the only time the ball really is going to bounce at him is when it's dropped in very, very short. He's made 9 now, and that total of 150 for 4. The applause in the background. Shot. That's a fine stroke. Nothing flamboyant about it. He just picked it off very neatly off the hip.
The penalty of attacking showing there with 4 runs coming to Graham Yallop. Not the most convincing stroke of the day, but with everybody up for the catch, that was 4. They're certainly on the point of conceding a lead to Australia, and it'll be up to the England bowlers to try and keep that lead down to as little as possible. And there's a big shout for that, and that's out. He's given it out, Don Osler, after a long deliberation. Took a long time to make up his mind, and why shouldn't he? Because it's an important decision to make. Chris Holt strikes with his 3rd wicket, and Australia's Kim Hughes is out for 47. LBW to Old with a total on 166. That must be out, is it? No, just wide of Peter Willey. And Ian Botham bowled that bouncer exactly for that kind of stroke. Kent will be relieved to get off the mark. Oh, they're going for one now. If that hits the wickets, that's out. Well, the tension and the nerves really showing there. And that really was an extraordinary run. They both hesitated in the middle. Neither was sure where they were going to go. Look at the ball just missing the stumps, and Yallop is 5 yards down the pitch. That's an elegant stroke from Martin Kent. Gowers after it, but the ball will win that race. 4 runs.
Steered wide of Gower, comfortably this time. And just walked the single. Big Bob Willis going in from the 3rd man, so the applause for the first innings lead here for Australia. This is the 5th over of this present spell for Chris Holt. Seems normally in these matches to bowl in about 5 or 6 over spells. This is in fact his 4th spell of the innings, on now to his 21st over. Oh, it's a great shot. Oh, that was a shot of a player brought up on a very good wicket. It hit with tremendous power. Well, that's 4 runs. Cracked away off the back foot, racing down to that 3rd man boundary. Kent being very quick to seize on anything just short of a length. Wraps the 200 out with that fine shot. He moves on to 17, 200 for 5. Well, that was in there a long time. Must have been a fairly thick edge off to the pad. I think again Yallop was having a change of heart. And I think might get in there beaten by the flight as much as anything else.
And I think, very interesting here, I think he starts to sweep. And I think that's what puts Mike Gatting off, actually. As soon as he started to sweep, Mike got on his back foot, not quite knowing where the ball was going to go.
And well bowled. Finally broken through. Embury's got rid of Yallop. Nice piece of variation, a little bit of a flight, made it into a Yorker, hit across it, and he goes for 30. So 203 for 6, Australia, and Embury takes his first wicket. Solidly away. It's just as well there's no gully in there. He found a big gap, but in the air. And Rodney Marsh off the mark. And the contest resumed between Botham and Marsh. Oh, there's trouble here. Well, there's always one golden rule: get yourself between the ball and the wicket and you've got a chance.
And they've never said a true word. A real mix-up here, and not half a run, really. And they go, they stop, they start, and Martin Kent right in the way. And he certainly would have been out then.
Bowled him, and that's beautifully bowled. Splendid piece of cricket that by John Embury. The arm ball that came back in the air and then kept on when it landed on the seam. Safe, away over the steps there, quite deliberate. Now then. And this is how it happened as the throw came in. Lilly had turned for two and was coming back. And he just had this meeting there with Willis, who was standing on the edge of the pitch. There's a lot of chat out there. We'll get some action in a moment. No ball call again. Just about every time Bob Willis has dug one in out there, he's bowled a no ball. Just that little bit of extra effort. Bouncer. But there's no great lift for any of the bowlers from this pitch. Very placid surface, which makes it all the more astonishing that still no one has got halfway to three figures. That shout was from the crowd, I think, not from umpire Bird. Problem with that, it was 4 off the bat, and umpire Bird saying, would he please keep off the pitch?
That's a wayward delivery, and it's brought a wicket. Half volley outside the leg stump, absolutely made for it, but another very good running catch there by Bob Willis. Really has a very, very safe pair of hands. And nothing could have fallen better there for Mike Brearley to take a wicket for John Emburey there with the very last over before the new ball.
A bit more concentration on the batting and a bit less on the chat. And everyone might be better served out there. Gooch has obviously made some remark to Lilly, and so has Taylor.
They've come through for the single, and a terrific throw, and that in fact is Rodney Hogg, who's gone there, run out without ever receiving a ball. And real dead-eyed Dick stuff there from Brearley. He measured the throw, he measured the accuracy of it, and struck the middle stump. And that's it this time. If you bowl straight, he swings and misses, it's out. And so Emburey collects his fourth wicket, and Australia here are finally dismissed for 258. Noble effort there from Dennis Lilly towards the end of the innings. He collected 18, which leaves Terry Alderman undefeated on 3.
The Australians will be just about half pleased at that, 258. They could have made a lot more. I suppose they could have got a few less as well, but the tail didn't really wag for them. The top score of 47, Hughes missing that elusive half-century that no one so far has reached. 30 to Yallop after a lot of traumas early in his innings, and a very good innings from Martin Kent, 46. A good selection that by the tour selectors, and a good innings from this young player. Well, Brearley and Boycott came out to open England's second innings as they had in the first. Here's the first over. Dennis Lilly is the bowler to Jeff Boycott, and in the commentary box with Tom Graveney is Jim Laker.
Well, just managed to get the bat down there. In fact, it sees him off the mark. And a relief for him and all the thousands of Boycott supporters. Well, Terry Alderman has bowled very intelligently so far in this series, but I'd be well advised not to continue bowling there to Brearley.
Well, that's close. Must be, yes. And he's a bit unlucky, I think, Mike Brearley. A bit unlucky, because that kept very, very low. Brearley's LBW to Lilly for 13. That's his 2,000 runs in Test cricket. What a good way to bring it up. Shot beautifully timed and very well placed. Just racing away over that outfield. Geoffrey Boycott added a single there to take him on to 9, and the England total to 49 for the loss of Mike Brearley. Just 20 behind. They are at the close of play on the second day. Well, where does that leave us now? We've had what really amounts to 2 batting collapses. The Australians 258, not really satisfactory on what is still a belter of a pitch. Just a little bit of movement there off the seam for the bowlers, but no bounce and no real hardship for any batsman out there.
Beautiful stroke.